What is your connection to the UFC, and what are you doing here right now?
So I fight professionally. I hope to get to the UFC this year. It is the pinnacle of the sport, you know, everyone plans to get there. I'm teammates to a lot of UFC fighters, maybe 20, 25, 30 guys. So as a teammate, I help them out, I corner them.
What is that like for you as being a professional fighter, being here? Like, aren't you like, yo, put me in? You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Is it motivate you, or does it drive you crazy? You're so close.
It still motivates me. There are days where it drives me crazy if I'm like at the apex watching a fight at my weight class and I'm like, man, I can beat these guys, you know?
Yes.
But you have to show and prove. You have to go out there and show you're the man. And like my management, they do a good job of just like pushing me and keeping me motivated. They tell me like, oh, the matchmaker said you need one more win, you know, and then you're in. So I'm like, damn, that motivates me. And knowing I can hang with these guys because I train with them day in, day out. I'm in the same facility as them, using the same mat space, you know. So it's like, damn, I belong here, you know.
Where do you see yourself? Like, how do you see your career going? Like, if you could like give me a snapshot into the future, I want to see what's going on.
Hopefully by the summer, you know. I've been told I need a win, so I'm going to get that win before the summer, and then I'll be there on the list, I guess, and when there's an opening, hopefully they call me.
What is your advice to people that want this to be their dream? They want to be a professional athlete. They want to compete against the best fighters in the world. What is your advice to them?
I actually know people like that personally, you know, friends of mine that they say they want to fight and they want to get in shape, and a lot of them lack the discipline and the commitment, but it's like the classic Nike slogan. It's like, you just have to do it, you just have to do the work. And it can be mundane on days, you know, there's days you don't want to go into the gym. But once you commit and you step through that door, it's like that's 90% of the job, you know, just going onto the mats. After that, you go into autopilot, and there's coaches there like Daniel who are going to push you and literally instruct you, but you have to firstly make that choice for yourself. When you're alone at night, when you brush your teeth and you lay in your bed and you put your head on your pillow, you have to commit to yourself, you know, and say, yeah, I'm gonna follow through with my commitment and go on this journey.
Can you give a reality check? I don't want to scare anybody off, but what does it mean to be a professional fighter at the highest levels where everybody wants to take your spot?
You know, the best way I can describe it, my head coach, Henry Hoof, down in South Florida at Killcliff, he has a great way he describes it. It's like, you have to have a fighter's heart. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to come from a ghetto or something like that. Like, because we have guys in the gym, they're from the Midwest, you know, they grew up on farms and they had like a good family structure, but they just are born for it, you know, they have a fighter's heart. You can train that a little bit, you know, like I said, by being committed and dedicated and embracing the grind, but it has to be something that's inside you, you know, you bring that to the table. It's not at the table when you get there. Because there's these young guys, they're fighting on national TV on ESPN. People think, oh, they've made it, you know, because every other sports star who's on ESPN, they're essentially a millionaire if they're in the NFL, NBA, NHL, or whatever it is.
Soccer, 300 million a year. These people are crazy.
Even these golfers, you know, they're making crazy money. But fighters, they're on the same platform, you know, at the highest level in their sport, and they're still essentially broke because they're not getting paid crazy money until they're further along and they're renewing their contract and stuff. So a lot of these young guys, there's a lot of guys in my gym, great guys, and they're still working a job, you know, they're still working 5 days a week and training around that. But I think as hard as that must be, that is, as I said earlier, when you have that commitment and dedication, it's like they're literally sacrificing daily. That must be a daily reminder, you know. Every minute they're at their day job, there's a purpose in their life. That's why they're there. They're there to fund their dream, you know, to fuel their actual purpose. So as hard as it may be, that can still be a motivating force for them, I believe.
Okay, so let me tell you about my son. His name is Sean V. Bradley, like my name, but the sequel is part 2. Give him some advice. Yeah.
Stay on the path, because the time will pass anyway. The time is going to pass. So day in, day out, you have to make that choice of where you're going to be as that time passes. And it's a small investment on the day-to-day level, you know. It's an hour of your day to be in the gym and to get all that knowledge. But looking back on it, it will form a huge part of your life, you know. Day-to-day life will amount to years of your life, you know. So as that time passes anyway, you have to make that daily decision of where you're going to spend that time and where you're going to pass that time, and if it's in the best interest for what your dreams are, you know. So if this is what you want to do, if you're wrestling, doing jiu-jitsu, and you already have the karate history and you want to fight when you're older, you have to stay on that path, you know. The time's going to pass anyway, so put your feet, your literal feet, in the right place that equals the destiny that you want. Yeah.
Right now he's working on this grappling and he wants to stay efficient. Should he continue for the next couple years on the grappling and then start striking, or should he start integrating a little bit of striking now?
He can start to integrate it slowly, but as long as it doesn't impede on his full-time like wrestling and grappling training, because that's a great base to have. That's the best base you can have in the sport, you know?
Perfect.
Which again is like more time you have to invest, but like I said, the time's gonna pass anyway, so life's not easy, and if you want to achieve great things, you have to put in the grind, and that's not easy. So the choice is yours, you know? You can sit on the sidelines and be comfortable, or you can push through and embrace the grind and get somewhere that you'll be proud of.